Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Accounting 101 with me, Galvin Jonathan. So, today we're going to talk about income statements. So, last time we finished cash flow statements, so we are moving on to income statement. An income statement is a financial document that shows the profit and loss of a business after a given financial period. It's also called the profit and loss account. So, it is a step by step financial document that involves finding gross profit. Gross profit is found by subtracting net sales minus net purchases, net incomes, and then net profit. So these are the three steps we shall follow when working out an income statement. So today we have a question. The following information was extracted from the books of Chirabo from the period ending 31st December 2023. So for every financial document, income statements included, we start by writing the business name, Chirabo Businesses income statement for the period ending 31st December 2023. So after this, we are going to draw four columns. One column will be for details, the next for shillings, the third one for shillings, and the last one for shillings. So income statements are pretty easy if you know how to find gross profit, net incomes, and net profit. So our aim here is to ascertain if the business has either made a net profit or a net loss. It determines the profitability of the business or the loss made by the business. So let's get started. So when making an income statement, when preparing an income statement, we start by finding the net sales. The net sales are obtained by subtracting sales minus return on sales. So we are going to have our sales as 2,550,000, and then our returns inwards, we are going to less the returns inwards or returns on sales, which is 100,000 shillings. This should give us our net sales, which is valuing up to 2,450,000 shillings. So this is the first step of an income statement, determining the net sales of the business. So now we are going to less the cost of sales. We're going to subtract the cost of sales from these sales of the business. So our next heading is less cost of sales. So in order to find cost of sales, we must first know the opening stock of the business. So opening stock is valued at 500,000 shillings. So then we find the net purchases. So we have to get our purchases, the business's total purchases, which are valued at 1 million, and then we less the returns outwards, the returns on purchases. We get purchases less the returns on purchases. So that is valued to 100,000 shillings. So this should give us our net purchases as 900,000 if calculated correctly. So when this is done, when we add net purchases plus the opening stock, it should give us the cost of goods available for sale. So the next statement there is cost of goods available for sale. So when you add them up, it should total up to 1.4 million, so 1,400,000 in the second shillings column. So we're going to less closing stock. So as to find the cost of goods, the cost of sales. So the cost of sales includes opening stock plus net purchases less closing stock. That is how you find the cost of sales. So once you have the cost of sales, obtaining the gross profit should be a walk in the park. So gross profit, as we had stated earlier, is equal to net sales less cost of sales. So our net sales was obtained as 2,450,000 less 1 million. So this should leave us with 1,450,000 if we calculate this correctly. So 2,450,000 less 1 million. It should give us 1,450,000. So this is the business's gross profit. So that is the second step in an income statement, obtaining the gross profit. So after that, we're going to obtain the net income. So the net income is obtained by adding incomes to the gross profit. So the business's income, the very first income is the discount received. The business received a discount of 200,000. So that is the first income. And the next business income is rent income. So rent income was valued at 250,000. So we're going to add it up and get the total income. So the total incomes are 450,000 shillings. So the net income, the total income plus gross profit should give us net incomes of the business. So this is the total, the net amount of income the business made throughout the accounting period. So this is the second step. The first step was to get the gross profit. The next one was to get the net income. Now we're moving in for the final step where we ensure if the business had got a net profit or a net loss. So to obtain the net profit or loss, we are going to subtract the operating expenses. So our next heading is less operating expenses. So our first operating expense is carriages outwards. So carriages outwards are, let me say, the business sold goods and is delivering them to a customer. That expense falls onto the business, so it is carriages outwards. The business spent money to get those goods to the customer. So at this moment, carriages outwards was valued out to 100,000 shillings. So in the second column of shillings, we're going to add 100,000 shillings. So our next operating expense is discount allowed. So when the business gives a customer a discount, that is an expense. The business will have to cover that money that it allows the customer to go with. So our discount allowed was valued to 80,000 shillings at this moment. So our third operating expense is insurance. So the insurance was valued at 100,000. So the salaries and wages were our final operating expense, and they were also valued at 100,000 shillings. So the total operating expenses will be valued at, if I am correct, at 380,000 shillings. So this will help us find the net profit of the business. So let me first draw this real quick. So this is for our total operating expenses and then our net profit. So as I said, our total operating expenses are 380,000 shillings. So when you subtract the net incomes minus the total operating expenses is how you find the net profit. So if I am to subtract this, I should get 1,520,000 shillings. So that is our net profit. So that is how you can work out an income statement. So thank you for watching till the end. This is Accounting 101 with Galvin.